The first time I saw the Queen, I was 8 years old and standing barefoot in the ruins of my home. The sky had turned the wrong color that day. Not blue, not gray. Something deeper, like the color of space just before the stars come out, stretched across the atmosphere as if the world itself had been peeled open. People were screaming. Structures burned in silence, their edges dissolving into shimmering fragments rather than smoke. It wasn't destruction the way we understood it. It was removal. I remember clutching the only thing I had managed to save, a broken metal figurine my father had given me. It wasn't worth anything, not to anyone else, but it was mine, and everything else was gone. That's when she appeared, not in a ship, not descending from the sky. She simply existed there. One moment, the space in front of me was empty. The next, she stood in the center of the ruins, untouched by the unraveling world around her. The Queen. I didn't know her name back then. Didn't understand what she was. All I knew was that everyone else had dropped to their knees. Everyone except me. Maybe I was too young. Maybe I was too angry. Or maybe I just didn't understand what I was supposed to feel. She looked at everything. The broken structures. The dissolving edges of reality. The people who had survived. Then,
she looked at me.
Out of everyone there, she saw me. And for reasons I still don't fully understand. She walked over. "You should not still be here," she said. Her voice didn't echo, but it carried weight. Not loud, just certain. "This is my home," I replied. She tilted her head slightly. It was. I gripped the broken figurine tighter. "You did this," I said. Her expression didn't change. "No," she said, "but I allowed it." That answer meant nothing to me at the time. It only made me angrier. "Then fix it," I demanded. She didn't respond immediately. Instead, she studied me, not like an adult looking at a child, like someone trying to understand something unexpected. "You are persistent," she said. "I don't want to be here," I replied. "I want everything back." "That is not possible." "Then you're useless," I snapped. Behind her, something shifted. Guards, maybe, or something like them. But she raised a hand slightly. And everything stilled again. She looked down at my clenched fist. "What are you holding?" she asked. I hesitated, then opened my hand. The broken figurine sat there, bent and scratched. "It's nothing," I said. "It is not nothing," she replied. She extended her hand. Light gathered in her palm, condensing into something small, solid. When it stabilized, it was a sphere, clear, but not empty. Something moved inside it, slow, fluid, like a memory trying to take shape. "Take this," she said. "I don't want it." "You will," she replied. "Just not yet." I frowned. "What is it?" "A fragment," she said. "Of what?"
She paused.
"Then, of something you'll need to remember." I didn't understand.
But I took it anyway.
Because even then, some part of me knew. This mattered.
"Keep it," she said.
"Why me?" Her eyes, if that's what they were, shifted slightly, like distant stars realigning. "Because you're still here," she said. Then, she was gone. And the world kept unraveling. Years passed. The ruins became a dead zone, sealed off from the rest of the world. They called it a fracture site. Said reality there had been destabilized beyond repair. I never went back. Not physically. But part of me never really left. I kept the sphere. Always. At first, I tried to understand it. Scanned it. Tested it. Took it to people who knew more than I did. None of them could explain it. "It's not technology," one scientist said. "It's not natural," another added. "It's both," a third suggested. None of that helped. Over time, I stopped asking, stopped trying to solve it. It wasn't meant to be understood. Not yet. So I carried it with me. through training, through assignments, through everything I became afterward. Because I didn't stay a survivor. I became something else. A specialist in anomaly containment. A person who dealt with things that didn't fit the rules. Because I had seen what happened when those things weren't controlled. And because, deep down, I wanted answers. I didn't expect to see her again. Not really. People like the Queen didn't just show up twice in someone's life. But then the summons came. Official.
Direct.
From the central authority. The Queen requests your presence. Not invites. Requests. There's a difference. I stared at the message for a long time. 15 years had passed since that day. 15 years of silence. And now, she wanted to see me. I already knew why. Because the sphere, it had started to change. It began a few weeks before the summons. Subtle at first. A faint glow that hadn't been there before. A slight increase in weight. Then, movement. Not inside it. Around it. Like space itself shifted slightly whenever I held it. And then, the dreams. Fragments of places I had never been. Voices I didn't recognize. Events that felt real, but didn't belong to me. It wasn't random. It was building. Toward something. And now,
She had called me.
of course she had. The palace was nothing like I expected. No towering spires. No overwhelming displays of power. Just precision. Everything about it felt intentional. Controlled. Like nothing existed there by accident. I was escorted through silent corridors, past guards who didn't move unless they had to. No one spoke. No one asked questions. Until I reached the final door. "This is as far as we go," the escort said. Of course it is. The door opened, and I stepped inside. She was alone, standing near a large, open space that looked out over something vast, though I couldn't tell if it was a city, a planet, or something else entirely. She didn't turn when I entered. "You took your time," she said. I almost laughed. 15 years, I replied. "That's what we're calling taking my time?"
She turned then.
And for a moment, I saw it. Recognition. Not just of me, but of the moment we had shared.
"You kept it," she said.
I reached into my coat, pulled out the sphere. It glowed softly now, more alive than it had ever been. "Yeah," I said. "I did." I stepped closer. "This is yours," I added. Her expression changed.
Subtly. Carefully.
"Is it?" she asked. "You gave it to me," I said. "I think it's time you took it back." I held it out. She didn't move. Not immediately. For the first time since I had known her, she hesitated. "You don't understand what that is," she said. "No," I replied. "But I understand what it's doing." "And what is that?" "It's remembering." Silence. Then, "You were not meant to return it," she said. I frowned. "Then why give it to me?" She didn't answer. Instead, she stepped closer, her gaze fixed on the sphere. "It has changed," she said. "Yeah," I replied. "So have I." She looked up at me. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Then,
"Give it to me," she said.
I did. The moment it touched her hand, everything shifted. Not violently, not dramatically, but completely. The room seemed to deepen, like layers of reality were folding open, revealing something beneath. The sphere pulsed, brighter, faster. And then, it broke, not shattered, opened, like it had been waiting for this exact moment. Light poured out, not blinding, but dense, full of meaning. And suddenly, I understood. It wasn't just a memory. It was every memory. Every possible version of what had happened that day. Paths where I hadn't survived. Paths where she hadn't come. Paths where the world had ended completely. And one, just one, where things had gone differently. Where she had made another choice. A better one. A harder one. One she hadn't taken. I staggered back. What is this? I asked. Her voice, when she answered, was different. Regret, she said. I looked at her. Really looked. And for the first time, she didn't look like a queen. She looked tired. This is what you didn't choose, I said. Yes. And you gave it to me. Yes. Why? Her hand tightened around the sphere. Because I could not carry it, she said. Silence. You gave me a regret, I said. I gave you a possibility, she corrected. Same thing. No, she said. Not the same. The light intensified. The room trembled slightly. The fracture site, I said suddenly. That wasn't supposed to happen, was it? No. You let it happen. Yes. Why? She closed her eyes. For the same reason I am asking you to return this now, she said. I frowned. And what reason is that? She opened her eyes. And for the first time, there was something in them I had never seen before. Emotion. Because I was afraid, she said. That hit harder than anything else. You, I said. Afraid? Yes. Of what? Of choosing wrong, she said. I let that sit for a moment. Yeah, I said quietly. That'll do it. The sphere pulsed again. Stronger. This isn't just a memory, I said. It's a chance. Yes. To change it. Yes. I stared at her. And you couldn't do it. No. Because you were afraid. Yes. Silence stretched between us. Then, why me? I asked again. This time, her answer was different. Because you were not, she said. I laughed softly. Yeah, I said. I was 8. I didn't know enough to be afraid. That is precisely why you survived, she said. I looked at the sphere, at the light, at the possibility inside it. So, what happens now? I asked. You choose, she said. Between what? Between what was, she said, and what could have been. And if I choose wrong, she didn't answer. She didn't need to. I stepped closer. The light surrounded us now, the room barely visible. You know, I said, you could have just told me all this back then. Yes. Would have saved a lot of time. Would it? I thought about that, then shook my head. No, I admitted. Probably not. I took a deep breath. All right, I said. Let's see what you were so afraid of. I reached out, touched the light, and everything changed. I was back in the ruins, 8 years old, barefoot, the sky wrong, the world breaking, and her, standing in front of me. But this time, something was different. She looked at me, at the figurine in my hand, at everything falling apart, and I saw it. The moment, the choice, the one she hadn't made. I stepped forward. You can stop this, I said. Her eyes widened, just slightly. You were not supposed to. Yeah, I said. I know. Different timeline. Complicated stuff. I pointed at the horizon. At the core of the fracture, I said. That's where it starts, right? She hesitated. There it was again. Fear. Yeah, I said softly. That's what I thought. I walked past her, toward the center. You don't have to be afraid this time, I said. Why not? I glanced back. Because I'm here. The rest wasn't easy. It wasn't clean. It wasn't guaranteed. But it was different. And sometimes, that's enough. When it was over, when the light faded, when the world settled, I found myself back in the palace. The sphere gone, the room quiet, and her, standing in front of me, tears streaming down her face. I remember, she whispered. I nodded. Yeah, I said. Me too. She took a step closer. You changed it, she said. We changed it, I corrected. She shook her head.
No, she said.
You gave me the courage to choose. I smiled faintly. Took you long enough. A soft, broken laugh escaped her. Then, without warning, she pulled me into an embrace.
Tight.
Real. Human. For a moment, she wasn't a queen. Just someone who had been given a second chance.
Thank you, she said.
I hesitated. Then, you're welcome, I replied. Later, as I left the palace, I looked up at the sky. It was blue. Normal. Stable. But I knew, somewhere in some version of things, it hadn't been. And all it had taken to change everything was one small gift given to a child and returned at exactly the right time.